Hey everybody, this is So Many Sequels. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
Welcome to a brand new show, brand new week, brand new month, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it's a whole nother month now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
The older you get, the more time flies. It's not time flies when you're having fun.
Faster.
It's time flies when you're getting old.
Faster. Yeah, they say time flies when you're having fun, but it also does when you're not.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying I'm not having
days
fun.
are long
I'm just
and
saying
the
it
year-
also does when you're not.
Something my mother told me after my son was born. She says the days are long, but the years are short, and that's how it's felt the last few years.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Very wise, very wise. Well, a new month means a brand new theme for the month, but we're not doing that today or this week in particular. We're going to have, coming out later this week, a mid-year review, so keep your feed subscribed for that. I don't know. I was trying to find a way to say keep your eyes open and keep your feed, whatever, but keep your feed open didn't sound right to me for some reason.
What is this, 2009 Facebook? Hey, yo, keep your feet open.
Keep your feet
I'll
open.
news you later.
Hit the like and poke our page for more. No, but really, we're going to have a mid-year review coming out later this week, so subscribe wherever you get podcasts or to our YouTube channel for that. But on this episode, we're going to talk about what's been going on this week in the movie world. We actually have quite a stacked list of new and new to us movies that we've watched this week, so let's get right into that.
We're all trying to pad our stats before the mid-year review.
I know,
We know what we're doing. Don't try to lie.
I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, that is what happened ultimately, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, you know what? I'm going to start with one that I watched because I think it's the only one on our list that's an old movie. I watched the original Mad Max on Max. It was a great synergy moment. And you know, all the talk about Furiosa and Fury Road and all that, and I was hyped about both of them. So I was like, I'm gonna watch the old one. I don't even remember if I've seen the original old one, because there's a handful, and it's like they all, what I've seen mixes together with my childhood memories. But Mad Max is kind of weird, you guys. But not in the same way. In like that original one's like almost normal, like a normal world almost. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, if I remember right, Max is like a cop.
He's like a normal cop, it seems like. Like, it's somewhat technically dystopian, but you can't really tell. So that was interesting to watch.
Yeah, they're not full blown yet.
I don't know if I'm going to commit to a Mad Max journey like I semi did with Planet of the Apes and like you did, David, but
Just 2 to go.
Yeah, there's 2 to go, so I might as well. We'll see.
And what I've always been told, because I've never seen the originals either, but I've heard a lot. From what I've heard, people like Road Warrior, the sequel, is most people's favorites of the old ones, and then people like Thunderdome too for various quotable reasons.
I see.
So,
well, we'll see. I don't know.
doable.
It was like I think I gave it 2.5 for me. It's like right in the middle of a 5. It's like this is weird. I don't know about this one. So that was my Mad Max adventure. And then I also saw a new movie that just came out this weekend as a recording, which is called In a Violent Nature. Have either of you heard of this?
yeah, I've done a little research on this.
No, you shouldn't have.
I only know it's a horror movie. That's about it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely like indie horror movie vibe. It's a little off the beaten path, but it's a slasher film. It's about basically a monster slasher man, a typical Michael Myers, Jason, typical kind of masked, faceless killer who has supernatural stuff, and he goes on a killing spree, and it's extremely violent. One of the probably up there with the worst of Saws in the most gory stuff I've ever seen. I actually have to say, and like Garrett will get this, it's for sure there's a kill in that movie that I don't think I've ever seen before or even could have imagined in my mind.
Ooh, I like that.
And it is like I couldn't not watch what he was doing.
Yeah.
So it was
You're
like-
so
it was like-
scared your eyes can't close.
It was like creative,
It was creative.
or was it just painfully violent?
That too. It was both.
Yeah.
And there's a handful like that. So I mean, I would not even pretend to recommend it to David, but Garrett, you
Can I
might
ask?
like it.
Oh, so
Okay.
what I actually was, I was wondering if it might be a good pick for so many scares this year because
Nah, because
I
you'll
couldn't
trash it
quite
and call
tell
it boring.
Because from some of the the thing is, so from some of the promotional material I've seen, it gave this vibe, but I'm not sure if it is. So maybe you can confirm it to me. Does like the movie mostly take place from like a third person perspective of the killer? Like, is the whole movie just following him from kill to kill?
The third person perspective is used a lot, and I like it. Yes.
Okay, because that to
But
me
it's
was the
not
most
just
interesting
him.
aspect. Yeah. Oh, it's not just him for him.
No.
Okay.
But the way the movie's told, like visually and through like dialogue, is very interesting. It's unique. It's like everything you hear, dialogue wise, is like overheard, and a lot of what you see is like a third person perspective. It's very interesting. But I enjoyed
that
it.
to me
There's
was
a
most-
lot of
was the interesting part.
long, like, okay, this is artsy for sure. So you got to be willing to appreciate
Yeah.
that. But
Because
I
that
did,
to me would be
and it just
fat.
didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect. There were bits that didn't work. Like I do want to make clear that like it wasn't a perfect movie, and it wasn't even. It didn't. I didn't like stick the landing fully for me. Let me put it that way. I was kind of enjoying the ride until I didn't, if that makes sense, without spoiling too much. That's where I'll leave it.
I remember that was kind of. I remember that was kind of how at least I felt after when we watched Maniac last year.
Yeah.
Like, interesting artistic way to go with a horror movie that just kind of like loses a bit of it just kind of loses it over time. It doesn't quite hang. The gimmick doesn't work for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are into the kind of like slow burn, artsy horror slasher, check it out. You might be into it. If you're looking for your traditional scare slasher fun, it's not that. So look elsewhere. And if you're not into that at all, don't bother. Let's go to. I want to hear from Garrett because you have two very interesting movies on your list. Let's hear Spaceman first.
Yeah, as again, I am trying to pad my stats for our mid-year review coming, and I am just looking for any new movie that may or may not be. And I feel like this one for me fell into that category. I'm not upset that I watched it. It's Adam Sandler, Paul Dano, and oh my goodness, Carey Mulligan is in this. So it's got a pretty solid cast.
Yeah, Paul Dano, famous from the farting movie.
Well, you know what? This falls into the Paul Dano being weird but good because he plays a space alien spider, if you will, for lack of a better description. And he's good. Adam Sandler's good. Carey Mulligan's not in it much, but she's always great. He's essentially going to the outermost parts of space. And through this and his loneliness, he's exploring some of the mistakes that he made through his marriage, and some of the regrets he may or may not have. And so it was fine. It was a little artsy. It wasn't the worst Adam Sandler movie that he's ever done, but it's one of those where it's like, yeah, all right, good for you. It's not as good as Click, I don't think.
So is there a more of a comedic element here than say Uncut Gems?
I would
I
say
disagree.
I would say that Uncut Gems somehow funnier. Yeah,
Crazy.
This was not funny. I would not say.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting. If you're looking for movies to watch in 2024, I'm not upset that I watched it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again. The one that I would watch again and would recommend to you two specifically, and anybody else highly interested in this podcast, is MoviePass MovieCrash on HBO Max. It just came out within this recording the last few days, I think. It is about MoviePass. The gift that keeps on giving, my friends, because this is a roller coaster ride, as was the entire MoviePass experience. Again, going back, I went through my Letterboxd list. 2019, I think, was the last time I had this, and I saw almost 70 movies that year.
Yeah.
2018, I saw more than 70.
Yeah. The MoviePass 2017-2018 era was elite and
Yes,
probably
it was, and
theft.
I wish I'd had time to enjoy it.
You're right to all of those things, Josh, because in this documentary, I don't know what you all know about MoviePass, but I learned an incredible amount of information. That MoviePass, I knew that MoviePass had been around before the height of the price gouging, right? And what I didn't know is that it was founded by two black men, and few people would invest, but they found a way to make it work. But then they eventually had to bring in two white men who ruined the damn thing for everyone, just like they do over and over again. They just started blowing money.
Tale as old as time.
Despite the fact that the founders were like,
boy.
you guys are blowing money. And you know what they did? They kicked him out and fired him.
Oh man, classic.
Yes.
My company now.
It was so much information that I had no idea about this company, and it was really interesting to see how it was being run, what the story they were telling versus what was happening, and then the demise of the whole thing versus how it was built. And so it's truly fascinating if you don't know anything about it and were a part of that experience.
Yeah.
Because they talked to people who worked in the offices, they talked to the founders, they talked to one of the CEOs, and it's just a crazy situation.
I can't wait
so
to watch it.
I do recommend that
I can't wait.
Not dissimilar.
Because
Yeah.
it was a
That's
time.
it.
I remember, Garrett, we were like, I don't know if we should give them money. This seems like it can't be legit. But
Yes.
every time I went to the theater and swiped that card, and I was like, it's not going to work. And it did.
Yep.
Every time. I've watched
time.
so many
Yeah.
movies for pennies,
So many.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was impressive.
They're
So,
back, though, and I don't know how it
recommend
works, but it's open again.
I don't know how it works either, but it is, and I will say it is owned by one of the original founders.
Oh, he got it back?
And yes, he was able to get the name back. He was able to because again, I don't want to spoil everything.
Yeah, don't spoil.
But there's some stuff that happens, and he was able to get it back, and they are turning a profit.
It's interesting because I'm on MoviePass.com right now, and they're like advertising the documentary on their website, so they must be like down with it.
They're involved, yeah.
All right. MoviePass, MovieCrash. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Fascinating. And it's interesting because now almost all of the major theater programs have their own, essentially MoviePass-like system.
And they all came right after MoviePass did. So,
And they address that in the movie.
yes.
Oh, that's great.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful. I mean, and I'm still an A-list subscriber to this day, so AMC. We make movies happen.
Well, you again.
I'm not going to be
it
happy
is
with
some
them,
stuff.
probably.
Well, I get it from a business standpoint, but like, come on. That's kinda
they're all
where I'm at.
corporations. It's not like I think any of them are good guys in the end.
True.
Speaking of, well, I was going to try to make that a good guys in the end thing, but I don't actually know any of the three movies that David saw. Well, I know of them, but I don't know what they are. I actually don't know one of them.
Yeah.
Let's start there. What is Drunken Master?
Oh, Drunken Master. So I'm doing a little research because we've got a certain movie theme coming up soon. So I wanted to start researching my action films and my films of that type. because I think I have a way I'm trying to lean with that. So Drunken Master is a film starring Jackie Chan from 1978, and in that film, Jackie plays the son of a great kung fu master, but he's really arrogant and really kind of a hoodlum, frankly. And he puts the moves on his cousin without knowing it, and he gets in all kinds of trouble. And so his dad forces him to train with his uncle-in-law, who is known worldwide as the Drunken Master, and he teaches him Drunken Master style, and it's very funny. It's a lot of slapstick and a lot of great kung fu. Every villain in this movie either has no hair or so much hair that it's unbelievable. It is unfortunately dubbed on Amazon Prime. I couldn't find if there was like a non-dubbed version, so it's like the English is very weird at times, but also it's pretty funny. There's some of the ways that they came up with to do like cursing and insults in this movie are pretty funny, because it's very like, it seems like 1970s Chinese people trying to like figure out like what would be a good insult in English. And so some of them work and some of them don't. But yeah, very funny, a lot of great action. The story is really there to just motivate you to the next fight. But if you've ever seen a Jackie Chan, like an American Jackie Chan movie, it's like you're seeing like a drop of what he's capable of in terms of that sort of stuff, because they just went all out.
I've seen that too, David.
Yeah.
I saw it as a kid way back in the day.
Oh, yeah?
I don't remember it much, other than I don't remember if it's at the end, but he just like douses himself in the drunken stuff and is like so drunk, like he's hiccuping and fighting these people that I remember. It is very funny.
It is. And so there's also a sequel that came out in like 94 that I kind of want to check out too. But yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna when exactly we might do some action movies soon, but I wanted to get a jump on some research for that.
Yeah. Well,
and
people will have to stay tuned to find out when that's going to happen. But on the other side of
yes,
I'm assuming, I don't know, I'm not hearing great things about this next one, so I'm assuming you went from good to bad here with Netflix's Unfrosted. How was Jerry Seinfeld's take on the origin of the Pop-Tart?
Pop-Tart. Speaking of stat padding, I watched Jerry Seinfeld's Unfrosted, about the creation of the Pop-Tart, and I gotta be honest, there's so many funny people in this movie that I did get a couple of really decent laughs, but it ran out of steam so fast. Like it ran out of steam after maybe like 15 to 20 minutes. And it is quite bonkers. Like it is, they went with an, sort of like a unhinged alternate reality, something in the vein of like Weird, the Al Yankovic story, like where things just like slowly get more and more.
So this is not the real origin of the Pop-Tart.
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't know. I never really cared about the Pop-Tart.
It's like not even a little bit at the beginning. But it's, Jim Gaffigan is in it, and Jerry, obviously. Hugh Grant plays Thurl Ravencroft, who is the voice of Tony the Tiger. It's Bobby Moynihan, Thomas Lennon, like Bill Burr, just tons of people. Amy Schumer's in there for some reason, but like there's just tons of people, and eventually, you're gonna get a couple of chuckles, but. The ending, I'll try not. I hope I won't spoil. I'm gonna spoil a little bit for you, but like it's almost worth watching.
I hope I won't, and then said I'm gonna.
yeah. The movie drove me crazy. The movie ends with a full-on parody of January 6th, featuring cereal mascots. And
I'm intrigued by that.
At first, I was like, "Wow, are they doing this?" And then they did it, and I was like, "Oh, they are doing it. They are going. There's very little subtlety going on here. It was wild. I don't know if it's worth watching.
The Pop-Tart from the Pop-Tarts Bowl in it? The mascot?
No, the Pop-Tarts from the Pop-Tarts Bowl did not make an appearance. from what Jerry said, they made the whole movie and then they asked for permission from Kellogg's.
Wonderful.
So,
Well, that's how it should be. Okay, that's
Yeah.
Unfrosted. And then you had one more, which is another movie
did.
that I just cannot imagine is good. This is Atlas on Netflix, right?
Why?
Starring Jennifer
Just-
Lopez.
My question to you before you even explain this one is why?
Yeah.
Just why watch the last two movies? Just I know I even understand stat padding because I was doing the same thing. You don't think I sat there for 10 minutes and thought, do I really want to watch Unfrosted?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
landed on
It
no.
does seem like you could have
Yeah.
picked movies you might have thought would be good.
I could have. I really could have. And I was gonna. I found a lot of good movies were available to rent, but all of them were in the $20 range, and I just couldn't commit myself to $20 to watch, the Group of Ungentlemanly Warfare, or whichever one that one's called. I was gonna watch that Anne Hathaway movie, where she has like a young boyfriend, but ultimately I went with this. Because I don't know. I don't like myself. I guess
That's the only
Like,
logical explanation.
I'll tell you this: Atlas, starring Jennifer Lopez, Sterling K. Brown, Simu Liu, big woof, big capital woof. It is so bad. Like it is the kind of movie. Like if you want a greater appreciation for movies you think are bad, watch Atlas. Like. This I recommend anybody who's like, man, the MCU is really falling off. Watch Atlas, because you'll start to go, oh, you know what? Maybe they haven't. This is the level of bad we could be getting.
Yikes.
The movie starts off with just a massive exposition dump and the most hand-holdy way, and then it just doesn't really go anywhere from there. I think the saddest part is that almost every actor is phoning it in, except for one who is desperately trying their best. And I think that makes it worse. So yeah, this is at this point the worst movie I've seen of the year, and we'll talk
Wonderful.
more about our favorite movies of the year in an upcoming
Yeah,
episode.
we will get to
but
that.
this was worse than Unfrosted.
Okay, well, don't watch Atlas, everybody.
Or do
I don't know what's going on with J-Lo. You guys hear she canceled her whole tour the other day?
She did
Yeah, included
cancel her tour. She had
included
that
a Tulsa stop at the
movie
BOK
she made
Center.
that
Canceled.
was weird.
And there's divorce rumors about.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Speaking of news, though,
Did you guys?
we got big updates in our Knives Out 3 report of the week. We've got a pretty decent sized cast list now that has slowly trickled out over the last few days. Just wanted to quickly list these off, and then we can talk about some of our favorite or the ones we're most excited about here. Obviously, we know Daniel Craig is returning as Benoit Blanc. We've also got Josh O'Connor, who just came off of co-starring in Challengers. Kaylee Spaney, she was in Civil War very recently, which we also reviewed. Go check that out. Andrew Scott from Fleabag, All of Us Strangers. David, I think you've seen him in some stuff. I am unfamiliar with him.
Oh yeah.
Kerry Washington, Scandal star. Glenn Close. Big
Classic.
get. And then I'm really excited for this one. Jeremy Renner is making his big movie returns post snowmobile accident. Wasn't that what that was? Or snow?
Yeah,
It's his first big film role since he's recovered from that, so that'll be interesting. Mila Kunis is back, coming in her first big role in a while. Daryl McCormick, and that's it so far. That's a big list. What do we think? How do we feel? The cast of these movies is so important.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how the ensembles for each one of these Benoit Blanc movies has just been you almost didn't see any of them ever coming, but they all seemed like they fit in a really weird way.
And I feel that way about this one because I don't necessarily see how they fit. I am excited to
Yeah, I'm
to
not
see
seeing the
it,
fit
though.
yet either,
I like
but
all of the
yeah.
all of the people that I know. I like, and I trust them all enough to feel like they can come together and make the ones that I'm less familiar with super fun and entertaining in some capacity. I'm either going to love them or hate them. I feel like, so I think it's going to be interesting.
Exactly.
I'm
We
interested
don't know
if
jack anything about this movie other than this cast and the title. So How
am
they fit
very
together is yet to be revealed. But
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
I'm very curious if we have our sort of like our like main lead, because Ryan's talked about in the last two movies, like Benoit Blanc is sort of the recurring character, but like in that first movie, Ana de Armas's character is the lead, and in the next one, Janelle Monáe is the lead. I wonder if we have that yet, or if we're still waiting.
Yeah, I have you guys heard? I'm not sure. I am interested in about. Have you guys heard about the Marvel Cinematic Universe killer theory about on this franchise?
No.
What's going on?
There's a theory that previous Marvel Cinematic Universe actors are all of the villains and murderers in the Knives Out movies. As
yes.
Chris Evans was in the first one, as Ed spoilers, sorry.
Yeah.
That movie's old
as
enough
Ed
now, I
Norton
think.
was in
Yeah.
as Ed Norton was in Glass Onion, both former Marvel MCU people.
Yes.
Ed Norton wasn't really a villain, I guess he was the Hulk, but
Right.
MCU, I guess, considered him a villain.
Well, the Marvel
He's a
company
hero
did.
and then a villain.
Yeah. But
Well, it's
so with Jeremy Renner there is now a theory that he is already the suspected lead killer because he has connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I will say, through this thread that I read today, Jeremy Renner's face was also on a bottle of hot sauce in the first one. So
Yeah.
It's true. There is a
he was
connection there. I forgot about Jeremy
It's-
Renner's hot sauce.
He's a key detail. The Renning hot sauce that is actually plays a pivotal role in Glass
See,
Onion. I highly recommend anybody go
That
back and watch
MCU
both
villain
movies.
thing is for sure the exact kind of unhinged conspiracy theory speculation I want about this movie, because there is nothing to pull from. We might as well might as well make some stuff up.
yeah, I'll send you guys the
Yeah, I
article.
want that to be real. Okay, let's we're getting close to the end here, so let's take a quick look at the most recent box office as movies continue to just burn to the ground.
Yeah. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new movies open this weekend. All of them opened outside of the top 5, including Hayugu, the Dumpster Battle, In a Violent Nature, Ezra, Summer Camp, and The Dead Don't Hurt. None of those got none of those got wide release, so that's partially why they opened so low. At the top of the box office this week, the Garfield movie takes the number 1 spot, dropping just 40% down to 14 million, based on these Sunday night estimates. If jumped up into the number 2 spot with 10.8 million. Furiosa falls to number 3 with 10.7. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is actually holding really well and is up to brought in 8.8. It's actually only 6 million away from passing War for the Planet of the Apes, the last
Summer
one
of
in
the
the
Apes.
franchise.
People love
in
the
terms
ape
of
movies.
domestic. The ape movies, the apes together strong. We're doing well. And then at number 5, you still have The Fall Guy, which brought in 4.2 million. To bring its domestic total up to $80 million. So overall, this weekend is about 67% behind this time last year. So we're really hurting for like big releases. And part of that's the strike. The strike delayed a lot of movies. Around this time, I think we'd be getting like, if the year had been normal, we'd probably be getting like a Captain America film right now. But various delays
Nothing
have kind of
will be normal
pushed that
ever
back.
again.
And nothing. What's true? So the bright spot of the year is obviously Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is doing well. If and Garfield both bouncing up a little bit is pretty positive. It means families are going out now that summer vacation's really getting started. So some bright spots, but overall we'll hope that June is a little bit better for us in terms of the theater business.
I did go see If. Also, I'm going to save my review a little bit for a discussion in our next episode. But it was full. It was full of families. And I will say, as a tease, I don't necessarily think that's the best idea.
Okay.
Just maybe not as young as you think. Maybe teens. Maybe teens. Maybe it's not for children. But maybe
couple
teens.
4-year-olds.
Okay. Tease for that future episode there then. All right. Well, last thing we wanted to talk about real quick is the Circle Cinema Film Festival is coming up. If you guys know us, you know we're big fans of Circle Cinema here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you haven't been, you should, because it's great. It's the only independent theater in the city, the only independent movie theater in this side of the state. And the 2024 Film Festival is coming back for its 6th year very soon, July 11th through the 15th. Every year, they bring in about 2,400 cinephiles to get a first look at made in Oklahoma short films, documentaries, and feature-length films. And then not only does the festival serve as a platform for filmmakers to exhibit their work, it brings in revenue for businesses in the area, brings people to the city, find out why Tulsa is nominated at the Cannes Film Festival. You can find out by coming to things like Circle Cinema Film Festival. And we're going to be doing stuff with them this year. That's all I'm going to say right now.
Hey.
But we're going to be doing stuff with them this year at the festival. So go to circlecinema.org
We are?
and check that stuff out. And be sure to pay attention to the show here. Throughout the next couple months, we'll be talking about it each week. You guys are excited, right?
Always. I've gone, back in college, I have did a little project with Circle Cinema Film Festival, learned a lot about it. It's got an interesting history. It's, you guys know that it used to be an adult theater as well.
Yeah. I did.
Some X-rated history there. So I'm always excited to go there. It's right along Route 66 as well, so it just adds to some of the history connected to the theater. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be great. Again, check out circlecinema.org to find out more about that. And, of course, listen to the show. We will be talking about it as well. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet. I want to say a big welcome and thank you to our new subscribers. We got a slew of new subscribers over the past few weeks, so welcome to all of you. We set a new goal here of 202. Again, none of your business why, but that is the new goal, so help us get there. If you haven't subscribed to the show yet, do that at our YouTube channel, So Many Sequels. And then, of course, wherever you get podcasts. And if you get them at Apple, leave us a review there. That 5-star rating can help us in the rankings, help other people discover the show, so we appreciate all that. All right, that's enough of the into show business. Let's get out of here. We will see you guys very soon with our mid-year review. Go to SoManySequels.com to find out more.